We cannot go through all, but at least few in the given time. I will take few sutras which we'll discuss today, and that will help us to progress in bhakti without any difficulty. So there is each for sutra, there is a Sanskrit verse, Sanskrit text is there, and the translation is there. I will not go through the Sanskrit verse, but just I'll read the translation and then we'll discuss on each one. So I will go through the Sutra 7, now what Narada Muni is saying. There is no question of lust in the execution of pure devotional service, because in it all material activities are renounced. So he said, when we are doing the devotion service, the progress in bhakti, we should not have any material desires. So how we can understand we all know, but in a practicality we need to see and how we can apply. See, so having the material desire is what will happen? It will distract our attention at our focus. One small story we can go through it to understand this sutra more betterly. Once upon a time in Vaikunta, Lord Narayana and Lakshmi Devi were discussing, and they wanted to test the mentality of the Kali Yuga people. So they choose one particular place, one person. He's a nice person, he's a ritualistic person, sincere person. So both Narayana and Mother Lakshmi, they came. First Narayana came as a sage, like a saintly person. So Narayana came and he went to his house. So that person invited him inside and he started offering food, and he told him to stay in our house. You can stay as many days as you want. So he started offering food and prasadam to that person. Then after some time, when this person, a sage, was honoring the prasadam, Mother Lakshmi came as an old woman, and she also waiting in front of the door. Then he saw that this saintly person. So he told, he invited Mother Lakshmi also. Then he wanted to offer bhoga, prasadam to Mother Lakshmi. Then Mother Lakshmi told, okay, I have my own plate, I will eat in my own plate. Then he said, okay, he tried to give water to clean the plate. Then Lakshmi told, no, once I use the plate, I will not use a second time again. I will give it to the person who is serving my prasadam. So that way, that person suddenly, by seeing that, he was very shocked. So if I keep Lakshmi Devi in our house, if I feed prasadam, every day one plate will come, so I will be very rich. That was his thought. So he started, then he asked Lakshmi Devi to come inside, and he started asked her to sit inside. Then he started serving. Then he looked at the saint. He was in the beginning. Who came first? Narayan came in the form of saint. Then he said, okay, why are you sitting here? Go away. Don't you see another person is sitting in our house? So then he sent him out. So this story gives us that this is our conditional state. What will happen? So we may be having some intention, but as soon as we get some good things, money, building, car, or many other facilities, what will happen? Our consciousness will change. Our intentions will be polluted, and then we divert our attention. So instead of serving nicely, we will get in a thought of utilizing those facilities and getting more. And what will happen? Once you get one desire, it will never stop. Those desires will be coming again and again increasing. So this is the mentality. Generally, in our Kali Yuga, our mentality, the human psychology is like, if someone is helping something, we treat him as a good person. If someone is not helping, we will treat him as a bad person, or we don't like that person at all. If he is talking nicely to us, we treat him as a good person. If he is not talking nicely, we treat him as not a good person. He is not friendly to us. So this is where our mentality, attitude. So when these desires are increasing, you get a desire, and you begin that, like we saw, that by seeing that Mother Lakshmi is giving the golden plate, so his mind has completely changed. And after that, his desires will keep increasing. What will happen? The mentality. You treat them, whoever is helping you, you treat them as a good person, and whoever is not helping, you will treat him as a bad person. That mentality increases. What will happen next level? As the tendency continues, your behavior changes. When you see, if your spiritual master is there, you start thinking that, okay, I am serving my spiritual master. That person is not serving so well, but still he is getting so many opportunities. Like that kind of thinking will start. Then that continues. The next level, you see towards the Lord. Okay, I do every day Mangalarti, or I do every day read Bhagavatam verses, I read Bhagavad Gita, I do so many services, but still I am not getting so many things. If you see other person, that person is doing so, not doing many services, but still he got a big house, very good car, or very good job. Right? We start comparing. So this is the influence of our material desires. So that is the reason Narada Muni is saying, if you are progressing in bhakti, we should not avoid having any material desires. So, but another thing is, even it is saying that the material desires, we know all these material possessions, but not only that, we should not desire mukti as well, the liberation. When we are, that we can elaborate that further. Suppose someone will go to the God, I am very poor, I don't have money, please give me money. Then that God may give you money. And another person goes there, and I am very not good in education, give me good education, God will give you. And one more person will go, and he will have some other possessions. But one more person will go, what he will do? This material world is very dukkhalayam. It doesn't have any facility. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. What will say? I don't want to live in this material world, and I want to go back to the liberation. Right? When you ask liberation in that context, that is also material desire. So all we need is, we need to have without any material desire, we should go back, we should perform devotion. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj was telling, nice description of our love of Godhead. What is the love of Godhead means? Love of Godhead involves sacrifice and service. These are all the two things we need to implement. When we do devotion with a sacrificed mood, service nature, then you will not have any, without any, that is the desireless thing, that mood you have to perform. So in order to avoid material desires, when you are doing the devotion, you have to develop this attitude mood, service nature and sacrifice nature. With that mood, when you perform devotion, you will not have any desires. Often, when we do the devotion, three aspects come. One is the sacrifice and service nature. Second one is a transactional nature. Third one is a desire, kama. Right? So, the sacrifice and services means you are giving everything. You are not expecting anything. That is the mood. Kama means you want everything, desire. I want this, I want that. That is the nature. So you go to the God asking, I want this house today. Tomorrow I want more money. And day after tomorrow I want something else. That is the desire. So some people will go with that desire. And some people will go with the transactional base. Okay, you give me something, I will give you return. I will pay this much in the donation. Or you give me some other desire, fulfill my desire, material desire, I will give. So these are the transactions. So people will approach God with a transactional nature. You give some, God, you give me something, I will give something. Or God, you do something, I give some return. Or you will do, without transaction, just you will ask, okay, I want more, I want these things. You put your list in front of God. But what is actual, these two are not devotional services. What is actual devotional service? Approaching the Lord, standing in front of the Lord without any motive, without any desire. Only your mood should be service and sacrifice. With that mood, we have to perform any devotional service. When you do that nature, then that is a pure devotion that doesn't have any material desires. This is the summary of the Sutra 7. Next one is the Sutra 8. Such renunciation in devotional service means to give up all kinds of social customs, religious and ritual governed by Vedic injunction. So the next thing the sutra is, we need to do renounce. When you are performing a devotional service, we need to be renounced. What are all the things we need to renounce? All the social customs and rituals governed by Vedic injunctions. So, but if you say when we are in this society means we are so many people. We are practicing sadhakas. We can't abandon everything and go to forest and do devotion. That is not practical. So we have to live in this world. Then what is the meaning of abandoning social customs? Renounce all the social customs. So we need to choose the thing. See, we cannot completely abandon social custom, but within our circumstances, we need to prioritize. We cannot go every party or every function happening our friend's place or in friend's place or any, right? You prioritize, choose. With nearby, close by people, you may attend. You have to decide. Because when you start following or attending all these social customs, what will happen? You will not have any time for bhakti. That is one problem. Second problem, There will be situations where you meet different people who eat like, who take alcohol, or who eat non-vegetarian, right? Or you may need to sit with them and discuss something. Sometimes you may need to talk something which you don't like to speak. So these are all things possible when you meet in a social gathering, right? These are all things one. So what is the important thing? We need to minimize, we have to prioritize, choose the one which will not disturb your consciousness. Choose the activity which is not take you away from devotion. That way you prioritize and choose. Otherwise, you will be continually, you will not find any time for doing one round of chanting. You will be completely involved in social gathering. The next one is religious rituals also we need to avoid. This another one example. Like one guru is there and he is having a disciple. Disciple was sincerely serving Guru. And one day Guru told he has to travel some other outside place for preaching purpose. Then this devotee disciple was feeling very intense separation feeling was there. So then Guru told, okay, I'll give my photo. Through my absence, you worship my photo, you do all the services to my photo. That way you will not feel separation. So Guru went, and this disciple was nicely serving and the photo every day, doing arati and all the Guru's photo, and doing so that he is not feeling missing. Somehow he is feeling the gap of separation from Guru. So after some time, Guru coming back. He was coming back, and it was raining heavily, and he came in front of that ashram and knocking the door. But what the disciple was doing in that time, he was doing arati, and disciple was telling, wait, I am middle of arati, let me finish. So the intention is, the rituals are, what is the outside, Guru is suffering in the heavy rain, and you are saying that, wait, I am middle of arati, let me finish and I will go back. So this is the ritualistic injunctions. What we see generally, why we are doing the rituals? Vedas propose these rituals to develop bhakti. But what is happening? Your Guru is there. You have to serve the Guru to progress in your bhakti. But what you are doing? You are keeping Guru outside and worshipping. This kind of ritual, and that's why we need to avoid doing these ritualistic injunctions from Vedic. Then that will keep you, if you keep away from this kind of injunction, ritualistic activities, then you will be able to progress in bhakti. Otherwise, you supposed to get bhakti by injunctions, you are getting attached towards those ritualistic activities. That is the thing. So we need to avoid. Another nice example from Srimad Bhagavatam, we all, many times we refer that in past time from Srimad Bhagavatam, wife of Brahmanas, right? So once, we all know the past time, but I briefly touched. Like Krishna and Balram were in the forest, and he was asking, all the cowherd boys were feeling hungry. He told cowherd boys, okay, there's a Brahmanas doing yajna, and you go and ask them to give prasadam. Krishna and Balram waiting there. Then these cowherd boys went and told Brahmanas. Brahmanas were doing all yajna, swaha, swaha. The purpose of yajna is to please Krishna. But Krishna is there standing somewhere outside, close to the area, fire sacred yajna area in the forest. When these kids cowherd boys were asking prasadam, then they're saying, no, we are doing yajna, we don't disturb, we will not give prasadam. But same thing, then they went back to wife of Brahmanas. Then they don't know any Vedic knowledge, they don't know anything about Vedic injunctions. What they did? They nicely gave prasadam. We are very happy if our husband Brahmanas reject us, that's fine, but we wanted to give prasadam to Krishna. So that is the mood. We need to avoid all the social customs and Vedic injunctions which are taking away from bhakti. So this is what Narada Muni is mentioning in his Sutra 8. So we need to avoid. These are the examples which we can understand how ritualistic activities impact. It will take us away from our path of bhakti. And the next sutra is Sutra 9, also telling renunciation also means being exclusively dedicated to the Lord and indifferent to what stands in the way of service. So, this sutra is telling Ananya Bhakti, with exclusive devotion to Supreme Lord. This Ananya Bhakti, Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita many places. We have verse, Ananya Chintayanto Mam, Ejana Paripasate, Tesam Nityabhayuktanam, Yogakshamam Vahamyam. With single-minded focus on my devotion, if you perform devotion, I preserve what you have and protect. If you don't have anything, I will provide all those things which you don't have. So all Krishna is expecting is Ananya Bhakti, only with single-minded focus on Krishna. And we also have the verse, Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. There also Krishna is saying, surrender unto me, abandon all other activities, just surrender to me. That's Krishna. And we also another verse, Maya Sakti Manapartha Yajnam Yunjam Madashraya Asamsayam Samagram Mam Yata Jnasyat Tacharun. So this verse is also saying, the Supreme Personality of God said, here, O son of Partha, how by practicing yoga in full conscious of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. So Krishna again and again telling, develop this Ananya Bhakti, like with single-minded focus on Krishna, avoiding, abandoning all. Same thing Narada is mentioning in his Sutra 9. So how we can, this is another example we can see, like one of the brahmachari from Govardhan Eco village. Once he went to Vrindavan. He wanted to get some deity items in that Loi Bazaar. So one of the guides from the Vrindavan temple, he told, okay, Prabhuji, you come with me. You close your eyes, you hold my hand, I will take you. Then that Prabhuji took this brahmachari into the shop. And he told, after going into the shop, he arranged, he got all the items very nicely and with good price. Then that Prabhu was telling, when you are walking in that bazaar, you will have so many shops with so much attractive things outside. Maybe they look outside attract, but the quality is not good, some of the items. So this Prabhu was telling, I know this shop is very good, is a reasonable price, that's why I holded your hand, I got directly here, so that you can purchase everything in one shot with the quality items. But what happens if the Prabhuji was not there? You enter into the bazaar, you go to this shop, and you see nice things, and you will explore all those things. Then you to other shop. Finally, what will happen? You go to multiple shops, you will forget what to buy and what not to buy, and finally you end up buying some low quality items, and you will come back. Unless you know this place where you will get good price and good quality items, you will wandering all over places and you will not be able to get. Same thing in our bhakti. When you don't have the single focus of Krishna, Supreme Lord, you try to do all other ritualistic activities and you will having the same issue. This is what Narada Muni mentioning in Sutra 9, that exclusively dedicated to the Lord and indifferent to what stands in the way of his service. So ignore all other things. So just focus on Krishna. So these are all the various sutras. And one more sutra is there. Exclusive dedication to the Lord means giving up all shelters other than him. This means focusing on, this sutra is focusing on whose shelter we have to take. Suppose, in general, our mental human tendencies, like if you are in India, we don't get that situations, right? If you are going on a vehicle, some police will stop you. What will happen if you don't have a license or you breaking some rules? You will try to convince them, my friend or my father is the so-and-so police officer. He will call you and interact you, leave me, right? This kind of, what we are doing, we are taking the shelter of someone who is having authority. Or if you saying like sometimes we go to, I remember the Tirupati Balaji temple example, right? In the Tirupati Balaji, when you go, there's so much crowd will there every time. Sometimes you have to stand in the queue for 14 to 20 hours to get darshan one time, right? So there are some other options there. They call VIP darshan, right? If you know some MLA, if you know some MP, they will give some letter. Where you take that letter and you pay some extra money, you will finish darshan in 3 hours, 4 hours, right? Or you take some IAS officer, the administrative officers or police personnel, you get the letter, or like the judges, they will have a quota every day for these many. So you get the letter and you take that letter, you give it to them, you will get a darshan quickly. So what is happening? You are taking the shelter of someone else to fulfill your desire. Or sometimes you will think that, okay, I am so much knowledgeable person, I have these many degrees, these many PhDs, and with that knowledge, you are taking the shelter of knowledge to prove that, okay, I am great. And to fulfill all other things, you will be taking the shelter of those. And you also take the shelter of sadhana. Sometimes, okay, I am doing so much sadhana, so many things, but still I am not, other people without sadhana, they are getting so many things, but I am not getting. Or since I have been doing sadhana so much seriously, I should get the privilege, right? These kind of things, these are the shelters we are taking to fulfill our material desires. So what Narada Muni is saying, that we have to take the shelter of Supreme Lord. If you see the example of Gajendra, what happened? He was trying on his own to get out of the crocodile, right? But what happened? No. He was not able to come out of that situation. Finally, what he did? He took the lotus flower, he offered water to Lord and praying. Then Lord immediately came and rescued. So what should we should, like the Lord is Dina Bandhu, Dina Nath, right? So when in front of Lord, we have to accept our position. I am helpless. I am in a miserable condition. You are the only shelter to me. When you have that kind of feeling, when you are going into the front of Lord, you should develop that mood. You are my shelter. You are my Father, right? You are the protector. With that mood, when you go, Lord will come and easily protect. So this will be like same example. So if you are going to a mall, so like generally in Vedas, like when we do that taking the shelter, another aspect we can bring is taking the, like when we go to Vedas, when we refer Vedas, what will happen? Vedas will have so many injunctions, so many things. Karma Kandi section, Jnana Kanda section, and Bhakti. Many things are there. So when you go to, similarly, when you go to mall, shopping mall, big mall, you will have so many things. So you want to buy something, but when you go there in the mall, what will happen? You get distraction. Your wish list will increase. By the time you go each and every shop, you want to go buy something, but finally, you may not buy that thing, but you will buy something different. Right? Same thing, when you start referring Vedas, the same thing will happen. You wanted to do Bhakti, but one section of the Karma Kandi say, okay, you do these rituals, you will get these benefits. Or something will say, you do these other activities, you will get some nice house, or you will get so much money. So what, by seeing these things, what will happen? Our self-concentration will distract. So what the Narada Muni is saying that the Sutra 11, indifferent towards what stands in the way of devotional service, means accept only those activities which are Vedic, anything, whatever which is those activities which are favorable to devotional service. So in the Sutra 11, Narada Muni was saying that, so when accept those things which are favorable to Bhakti. Otherwise, you will be wandering all over the mall. You're supposed to buy something. By the time you realize that I have to buy this thing, that item may exist or may not exist. You may not find actual thing what you wanted to buy, but finally you will buy something else. So same things, when you approach Vedas without proper guidance, without proper shelter of Guru, the same thing happens. So the Sutra 11 is that we need to accept only those activities which are favorable to Bhakti. Then who will give these instructions? Our Guru. The spiritual master will give these instructions. With the help of Guru, spiritual master, we can who is in disciplic succession, he will give those instructions. Okay, these things you follow as per Veda, Bhakti, you do this. That's why Prabhupada simplified us. Follow these 4 regulative principles, chant 16 rounds, that's enough. You will come back to Godhead. So he simplified. Many things are there in Vedas, scriptures, but finally, his Guru, with the help of Guru, we can get a right direction. We will get an anchor. With that, we will be able to progress. Same thing, like in the Vedas, if you simply follow Vedic injunctions, what will happen? There is a nice pastime from Ramanujacharya. I think we will finish this, with this pastime we will finish. It's almost. So Ramanujacharya pastime, once Ramanujacharya was a Gruhastha, he invited one of the great devotee called Kanchipurna. And he wanted to invite Kanchipurna to his house and feed prasadam. So his wife made all the nice bhoga preparation, everything. They were waiting for Kanchipurna to come. And then he did not, then when Ramanujacharya was waiting, and he went to one particular way, how far he reached. To find him, he chose one particular path. And Kanchipurna came in a different path. And he came. So then the wife of Ramanuja, what she did, okay, she invited, she told that, okay, he went out to look for you. Then she started giving she offered all the prasadam and everything. So the Kanchipurna accepted all the prasadam and he finished everything. He left before Ramanuja came. Then what his wife did, she took all the items, whatever he had leftover things, she thrown everything outside. Then Ramanujacharya came after that. Then he thought, okay, Kanchipurna came and he had prasadam, everything. Then where is the remnant? Then the wife told, no, she completely thrown everything. This is the thing. When you follow the injunction, Ramanujacharya was feeling very sad. Such a great devotee remnants, I missed it. That was, he was lamenting. So after that, I think he left the Grihastha Ashram, but that we are not going into the detail. But the key point is his wife was following Vedic, as per Vedic injunctions, cleanliness or all those things she was considering, and she was throwing all the remnants of this great Vaishnava. But Ramanujacharya was lamenting that, okay, this is a very bad thing happened, it's not a correct thing happened, throwing all the remnants of great Vaishnava. So he was lamenting, right? Even we have a verse, right? Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnu aradhanam param tadyanam parataram devi tasmat parataram devi tadyanam samarchanam. So Shiva was telling to Parvati, we can worship Krishna, Vishnu, that's a great thing, but worshipping the Krishna and more bigger thing is worshipping the devotees, the serving the devotees of Krishna. So that is the greatest thing. So, but in this case, Ramanuja's first time, his wife completely ignored those serving the devotee aspect, simply followed Vedic injunctions and ignored thrown all the remnants outside. So this is how the problem. These are the problems, impediments in our bhakti process. If we don't take proper shelter of Guru, who can give the right direction, we will not be able to progress. So these are some of the sutras which Narada Muni spoke in our Narada Bhakti Sutra. So with these sutras help, which will help us to progress in our bhakti. First thing is abandoning all material desires that we can develop by doing the service and sacrifice nature. Second thing, abandoning all the social and ritualistic things. Third thing, exclusive shelter to Krishna. And fourth thing, abandoning all ritualistic injunctions. Take instructions only through your spiritual master. So when you practice these ways, these instructions, there are many in the Narada Bhakti Sutra, but for us, at least for sadhakas, if we apply these in our life, definitely we'll be able to progress in our life, and we will have develop the faith and surrenderness like Dhruva Maharaj was having in this past time, and where like this, how Srila Prabhupada is having the determination and the surrenderness. So we can develop those qualities. So I will conclude here. Any comments? Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu, it's a nice question. So it's a practical aspect. So first thing we need to understand is if we have to perform any devotion, we need to be consistently practice. That's why we are every day morning, Prabhupada prescribed the schedule. That is one thing. Second thing, so it looked like a ritualistic activity, but actually Prabhupada prescribed all those activities to keep us in the Krishna conscious way. So we need to understand before doing that activity, we should know that why we are doing that activity. What is the importance? By doing these activities, in what way it helps us? So keep that thing in your mind. That's why we need to keep on meditating on those in our mind. Then our mind will be fixed, understand, it will remember that, okay, I am doing this activity to get this as part of bhakti. If I do this activity, my consciousness will be developing. So you need to understand the essence of each activity you are doing. Why we are doing, if you do, what will be the benefit in my bhakti. When you understand those, like if you are reading Shikshastakam is Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling so many instructions, right? So you understand, when you are reading, you remember those definitions, why, the meanings. When you are reading Shikshastakam with meaning, in your mind you read, when you are remembering the meaning, then your consciousness will be proper. Then you will not think it as a ritualistic activity. When you do Guru Arati also. So every stage, you understand the purpose of that activity, why we are doing. When we understand the purpose, then you will not get into the ritualistic. The problem is ritualistic activity is not bad. You don't know the purpose. The example I was telling, Guru was waiting outside, he is doing Arati and he is ignoring Guru. Right? What is the mention? He attached to that activity without knowing the purpose of the activity. right? So when you know that why you are doing this, what is the purpose, then you will not get into that consciousness. So it's a matter of consciousness by knowing the purpose. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes. So see, in all these activities, whatever we do, activities, the final goal is never forget Krishna. Why we are doing all these activities, morning program, any devotional service, think that so that our mind will not forget Krishna. So you constantly remember Krishna. As long as you are doing that activity, all the bus services with that mode, with that consciousness, you will not get into that problem. So the main thing is you should think that you will never forget Krishna. Whatever you are doing, choose the activities which will not make you to forget Krishna. Right? You always remember Krishna. So with that motive, you need to perform all the activities. So choose the activities and perform those activities. That way you will be. Yes, Prabhu. Mhm. Yes, Krishna is expecting that. That's what. So you surrender to me, I will protect. So Krishna's purpose, when you are conscious, like in another verse is there, ye tamam prapajante tam stataiva bhajamiham, right? According to level of surrenderness, Krishna will reciprocate. That is in case of Krishna. But in case of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is unconditional. Even like that's why we see in the case of Jagai Madai, even they were fallen and sinful, they were got the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when you approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is unconditional. So when that's the ring. By what is chanting, just chant the holy name, you will be purified. That was the easy method for Kali Yuga people. That is the very simplest method which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Prabhu is mentioning. Yeah, that's the. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, Prabhu, sacrifice, see, like devotion is like a journey. It's not a immediate thing, right? It takes time. For second thing is like we have to develop the taste for that activity. Just forcibly you cannot renounce. Right? In Bhagavad Gita verse is there, right? When you develop the higher taste, you will renounce the lower things, right? So you need to develop the taste for higher things. Means the chanting, reading books, you need to develop the taste. How the taste will be developed? By practicing every day. So you will keep practicing, have a faith, that is the thing. These sutras, whatever Narada Muni mentioning, right? When you practice these things, regularly practice and try to develop the taste. Based on your humor, some people are getting attracted to chanting, some people will be interested in doing some service, right? Whatever your mind suggests, choose that particular path, activity, consistently you do, then when you develop the taste towards that, okay, suppose if you are doing some service, you have to clean the temple. Every week you have a roster to clean the temple. You are consistently doing for many years. Then what will happen? Suppose one day you got some other social activity you are to attend, but you think that of that social After 10 years or 15 years, you may reach a state where, oh, that social activity I can ignore. I have service, I will come here. What is happening? The taste, you develop the taste toward that activity after practicing so many years. So you are ignoring the social custom, which is required. Right? So it's a practice, consistent practice, and that will give you the result. So when you try to develop, when you are doing all these activities, you try to develop the taste toward that act, develop the taste with your sincerely, you try, then you will renounce the sacrifice, all other stuff which you are not interested. So, okay, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaur Bhakta Wrinda ki jai.